Hi everyone, welcome back to DGMC, Diwane Galib, Meri Zubani. To all our returning viewers, we are very happy you could join us again. And to the new viewers, we are delighted you discovered the podcast and decided to tune in for the first time. Now, if you were with me in the previous episode, you know that currently we are going through Ghazal 26 from Diwane Galib, Garna Andohe Shabe Furqat Bayan Ho Jayega. Today, we are going to get into the fifth couplet of this ghazal. We already have covered the first four and they are posted on the channel. As always, I'm going to read the couplet first and then we will get into an approximate translation, keywords, and the impression finally. So, this is how it goes. सबके दिल में है जगह तेरी, सबके दिल में है जगह तेरी, जो तू राजी हुआ मुझ पर गोया एक ज़माना मेहरबां हो जाएगा. So let's do a quick approximate translation. First line, सबके दिल में है जगह तेरी, जो तू राजी हुआ. You have a place in everybody's heart. If you were to approve or agree. Second line, मुझ पर गोया एक ज़माना मेहरबां हो जाएगा. Then, on me, there would be this whole generation that would agree and approve. Now, let's start picking up the keywords. It is a very simple couplet. It does not have a lot of complex words, but whichever words do demand, we getting into their essence, etc., we'll pick those up quickly. So first one, jagah. Jagah is, it's a very common colloquial word. We use it even today. It means a place, quarters, dwelling of something at times, sometimes a vacancy, a post. But in today's in today's couplet, it is referring to place or location of something. इस पे शहरियार का ये शेर, ये क्या जगह है दोस्तों, ये कौन सा दयार है, हदे निगाह तक जहां गुबार ही गुबार है. The approximate translation is, friends, what place is this? What location is this where as far as my eyes can see, all I see is this smoke cloud of grief, right? What kind of place is this? That as far as you can see, there is this smoky cloud of grief. That's all you can see. तहजीब हाफी का ये शेर, खुद को ऐसी जगह छुपाया है, कोई ढूंढे तो लापता हो जाए. Approximate translation is, I have hidden myself in such a place, in such a location, that if someone was to come finding me, they themselves would get lost. So that takes care of jagah. Moving on to razi. Razi translates to somebody agreeing with you, somebody willing, somebody who is satisfied, content, happy, right? Because basically they got what they wanted. They are happy with the state of affairs because it satisfies their requirement. इस पे शकील बदायूं का ये शेर, राजी हो या खफा हो, वो जो कुछ भी हो शकील, हर हाल में कबूल है उनकी खुशी मुझे. The approximate translation is, whether they are willing and agreeable, whether they are angry and discontented, whatever their state may be, Shakil, and the poet is referring to himself, I am okay with any state as long as it makes them happy. So whether they are in agreement with me, whether they are in disagreement with me, I am okay with any state they are in as long as it is a state that makes them happy. Beautiful couplet. Akbar Allahabadi का ये शेर, 100 जां से हो जाऊंगा राजी मैं सजा पर, पहले वो मुझे अपना गुनहगार तो कर ले. Nice one. So the approximate translation is that with 100 lives, I would agree with them on any punishment they deem fit for me. But the first condition is that they should own me as their prisoner, as as the person who has done a sin against them, a crime against them. There should be a ownership in play as far as I go, and if they own me, even as their culprit, as their criminal, I will take as many punishments as they send my way. With hundreds of lives, I would do that. Moving on to Goya, beautiful word, just has a very unique quality to it. What it stands for is, in Hindi we would say jaise ki, right? Similar to, or as if speaking, right? So that is how Goya is used. इस पे मोमिन खान मोमिन का ये शेर, तुम मेरे पास होते हो गोया जब कोई दूसरा नहीं होता. One of the most famous couplets, often quoted as one of the most famous couplets. Approximate translation is, you are with me when, or as if there is no one with me. So you are with me when there is no one with me. You continue to be present even in the loneliest moments of mine. You somehow seemingly continue to be present. And that is the paradox, right? That is the paradox of the lover, that afar from the beloved, at the end of unrequited love, he still cannot find even a single moment when her presence is not all around, even though she's nowhere. दाग दहलवी का ये शेर, उड़ गई यूं वफा जमाने से कभी गोया किसी में थी ही नहीं. Another beautiful one. The approximate translation is, loyalty and trust have kind of evaporated from the entire generation without a trace. Goya, as if it never existed to begin with. That's how rare it is to find loyalty, as if it never ever existed. That takes care of Goya. Moving on to Zamana. Very difficult, right, to capture the expanse of the word. But basically, it can be a generation, it can be a time period, it can be an era, it can be the entire population in a certain time period. So various nuances to it, but let's see if these couplets can help us grab those nuances. So Hasrat Mohani ka ye शेर, चुपके चुपके रात दिन आंसू बहाना याद है, हमको अब तक आशिकी का वो ज़माना याद है. From the famous movie Nikah. So the approximate translation is, every day silently letting tears flow from my eyes. Every day silently letting tears flow from my eyes. Those times, that era of falling in love, I still remember very clearly, very vividly, very distinctly. It was marked by this action where silently tears all day kept rolling down my cheeks. जिगर मुरादाबादी का ये शेर, हमको मिटा सके ये ज़माने में दम नहीं, हमसे ज़माना खुद है, ज़माने से हम नहीं. Often quoted couplet, just a beautiful couplet, has a powerhouse of energy and inspiration captured in it, right? So the approximate translation is, that it would erase me is not possible, by the people in this era, by this generation. Because this generation is existing because of me. I am not existing because of this generation. The generation is there because of me. So, no, they cannot erase me. They cannot destroy me. They exist because of me. I don't exist because of them. And then the last word, meherban. I think at DGMZ we are covering this for the first time, if I'm not wrong. And beautiful couplets. I mean, Urdu shayars, it was so difficult to choose a few. It's such a beautiful word and used so beautifully in Urdu poetry. Let's go through a few. Sabse pehle, let's start with our own Mirza Ghalib. Meherban ho ke bula lo mujhko. I stand corrected. मेहरबान हो के बुला लो मुझे चाहो जिस वक़्त. मैं गया वक्त नहीं हूँ कि फिर आ भी ना सकूँ. One of my favorites. So the approximate translation is, be gracious, be kind, and call out for me anytime. Send for me anytime. Because, beloved, I am not time. That once I pass, I cannot come back. No, I am your lover. Call out to me. Send for me anytime. In fact, be kind, be gracious and do that. Because always remember, I am not time. That cannot come back. That cannot rewind. I can come back. I am your lover. Call out for me. Beautiful couplet, just beautiful. दाग दहलवी का ये शेर. ना जाना कि दुनिया से जाता है कोई बहुत देर की मेहरबान आते आते. Another lovely one. Like I said, the word is used so beautifully by so many poets. So the approximate translation is, little did you know that somebody was already leaving this world. O gracious one, O kind one, you are late. You are too late in coming to visit. Little did you know that this person was already on their way out of this world. मीर तकी मीर का ये शेर. तुम तो ए मेहरबां अनूठे निकले. तुम तो ए मेहरबां अनूठे निकले जब आन के पास बैठे रूठे निकले. Approximate translation is, you, my gracious kind one, are one of your kind. Right? In your graciousness and kindness. When you came and sat next to me, I realized you in fact were not very happy with me. Not very pleased with me. I realized that you were disgruntled with me. And that is unique, because this type of kindness wherein you will come and sit near me and then make it evident that you're not happy with me, you're not pleased with me, this is a unique style. Why come and sit right near me if you're not happy with me? Fani Badaiyui ka ye sher. Meherban ye mazare fani hai. मेहरबान ये मज़ार फ़ानी है आपका जानिसार था ना रहा. Approximate translation is, O gracious one, O kind one, O benevolent one. This is just the tomb of Fani. This is just the grave of Fani. Yes, there used to be somebody who would sacrifice their life on you, but that person is no more. This is just his grave. And when the poet says Fani, he's referring to himself. And the last one from Sudarshan Fakir. मेरी ज़बान से मेरी दास्तां सुनो तो सही. मेरी ज़बान से मेरी दास्तां सुनो तो सही. यकीन करो ना करो, मेहरबान सुनो तो सही. Approximate translation is, listen to my story in my words, from my tongue. O gracious one, O kind one, whether you believe it or not, at least listen to it from my tongue. Let me recite my story to you. So that takes care of all the keywords. Let's get into the impression. First line, सबके दिल में है जगह तेरी जो तू राजी हुआ. We are very excited about this couplet and we'll tell you why. But this is a rare opportunity, so Hopefully, you will enjoy it as much as we do. Now, this is indeed a special couplet in DGMC's humble opinion, where we get to see, thanks to Ghalib, a rare insight into the beloved. You know that usually when we are going through our ghazals, we come across this very archetypal image of the beloved, which is demanding, very hard to please, sometimes almost unfair, always uncaring, ignorant, negligent, right, towards the lover. It is a very typical image, and of course Urdu poetry is full of poetry around this aspect of the beloved. But in today's couplet, Ghalib gives us that rare, glorious vision of what makes the beloved so special, so coveted, so desirable, and so sought after. Why is it that despite that archetypal image of being hard to please and ignorant and negligent and why, despite all that, she still remains to be so coveted, so desired, so sought after? We at DGMZ will take this rare opportunity today to explore and celebrate this aspect of the beloved. Let's start at the start. She is beautiful, and she is beautiful in a way unlike any other beautiful one. Beloved's beauty is unique. It is not bottles and jars type of beauty, right? It is unique. It has a special quality to it. अहमद नदीम कासमी का ये शेर, यूं तो इस जलवा गाहे हुस्न में क्या क्या देखा, जब तुझे देख चुके कोई ना तुझसा देखा. Approximate translation is, in this world full of beauty, any and every type of beauty, so much beauty, we have seen every version of beauty. But once we laid eyes on you, beloved, once we laid eyes on you, then we never saw anything prettier, anything more beautiful. You were it. Before you, yes, we could admire and appreciate all the beauty, this world full of all that beauty, but after seeing you, that was it. जिगर मुरादाबादी का ये शेर, इतने हिजाबों पर तो ये आलम है हुस्न का, क्या हाल हो जो देख लें पर्दा उठा के हम. The approximate translation is, this is my state when her beauty is under a veil, right? This is the impact it is having on me. And of course, by extension, it's having this huge impact on me when her beauty is under the veil. Just imagine if for a moment she was to lift the veil. What would happen to me? मीर तकी मीर का ये शेर, उसके फरोगे हुस्न से झमके है सब में नूर, शम में हरम हो या की दिया सोमनाथ का. The approximate translation is, from the glory and splendor of her beauty, from the light, the illumination of her beauty, everything is lit up. Whether it is a little clay lamp in the temple of Somnath, or it is the light in the mosque, everything is lit up. Everything burns bright. I'm tripping over my words. Everything burns brightly because of the illumination her beauty creates. So, like I said, let's start at the start. She is beautiful. And not just regular beautiful, nan naksh achhe hain type beautiful, right? This is a beauty that emits light. Right? This is a beauty that illuminates wherever she goes, just by the sheer radiance of it. But having said that, this beauty is just one part of the beloved's allure, her charm, her irresistible nature. There is so much more to the phenomena called beloved. There are things which are not evident to the naked eye, things that are not visible on the surface, and Ghalib in today's couplet captures those surreal aspects, those not so evident aspects of the beloved beautifully. Beloved is a feeling. She's an emotion that descends into you and transforms you, your heart, your entire soul, forever. Once touched by a true beloved, one will never go back to one's old self. I need to warm my tea. Sorry. साहिल लुधियानवी का ये शेर, तुम हुस्न की खुद एक दुनिया हो, शायद ये तुम्हें मालूम नहीं, महफिल में तुम्हारे आने से हर चीज़ पे नूर आ जाता है. The approximate translation is, Beloved, you are an entire world of beauty. You are an entire world of beauty. Probably you don't know that. But take it from me. Whenever you enter a place, whenever you enter a gathering, everything gets lit up. That is your aura, that is your radiance. इमाद अली बहर का ये शेर, काफिर इश्क हूँ मैं, सबसे मोहब्बत है मुझे, एक बुत क्या की समाया है कलीसा दिल में. The approximate translation is, I am an infidel in love. I love everybody. Ever since that idol has descended into the church of my heart. Right? So basically, once the beloved has descended into the heart of the lover is now following the religion of love. He has become infidel to all other religions and faith. जावेद अख्तर का ये शेर, मेरे दिल में उतर गया सूरज, ब्यूटिफुल कपलेट, मेरे दिल में उतर गया सूरज, तीरगी में निखर गया सूरज. What a lovely couplet. Tirgi is darkness. So the approximate translation is, in my heart descended the sun itself, and in the darkness of my heart that sun just bloomed, just shone so bright. So the lover's heart, which is a dark place, gets illuminated as if the sun itself has descended into it once the emotion of love touches him, thanks to the beloved. And then this last one from Farat Ehsaas, एकदम दिल में उतर जाए जो खंजर आपका, फरत एहसास अपना बन जाए कलंदर आपका. Approximate translation is, that moment when the knife of your love descends into my heart, beloved, that moment Farat Ehsaas, which belongs to me, and the poet is referring to himself, will convert into the dervish, the wise one, the kalandar that belongs to you. You will transform Farat Ehsaas into a kalandar, and that kalandar will belong to you. You have created it. So that is the transformative aspect of the beloved. Once she makes love, and by extension herself, descend in the heart of the lover's life is transformed forever. His outlook is transformed forever. His in-look is transformed forever. Nothing will ever be the same. Now, another thing that beloved does is she recalibrates. She recalibrates the benchmark for the lover with reference to many things: sorrow, wishes, ambition, joy, happiness, dreams, strength, resilience, self-control, self-discipline. A lover who was probably operating at level 1 on a scale of 1 to 10, after knowing the beloved, after getting introduced to love by the beloved, starts operating at 7, 8, 9, 10, 100. Exponential increase in his metrics for emotions, right? She makes him realize a potential inside him for any and every type of emotion that he probably didn't even know existed. She unlocks rooms that have never been unlocked before in terms of emotions, right? A lover who is in love can achieve things emotionally and physically also that he would have never thought himself to be capable of. That is the recalibration she does. Now, 1 is not enough. 2 is not enough. He wants 7, he wants 8, he wants 10. He wants to break the scale. He wants to break the scale. इस पे अख्तर शुमार का ये शेर, सारी खिलकत एक तरफ थी और दीवाना एक तरफ, तेरे लिए मैं पाँव पे अपने जम के खड़ा था एक तरफ. The approximate translation is the entire universe, the entirety of everything was on one side and I was on the other side. For you, beloved, I stood strong, all by myself, against everything and everyone. Like I said, the recalibration of his strength, his resilience, gives him the ability to do it. बशीर बद्र का ये शेर, मैं तेरे साथ सितारों से गुजर सकता हूँ, मैं तेरे साथ सितारों से गुजर सकता हूँ, कितना आसान मोहब्बत का सफ़र लगता है. The approximate translation is, with you by my side, I can travel across the stars themselves. So easy, so natural seems the journey of love when you are by my side. And by extension, when you are not by my side, this is a journey in hell. But with you by my side, I could travel right to the stars without any difficulty, without any roadblocks. So that is again the recalibration of the lover's ability that the beloved does for him. Moving on to another aspect of the beloved, right? This public appeal. And that is referred to in our couplet also. This public appeal that she has, right? The irresistible pull of the phenomena called beloved. This is unmatched in the inspiration, motivation, almost mobilization she can cause of not 1, not 2, at times the whole community, the whole generation. Awam जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं, right? The entire collective. She can mobilize, she can influence, she can inspire. खान हसनाइन अकीब का ये शेर, बहुत से लोग कोई तुझसा ढूंढने निकले, मजाल किसकी जो तेरी मिसाल ले आए. The approximate translation is, many people went out in search for somebody like you, but dare not even one of them came back with even somebody similar, remotely similar like you. Forget about finding someone who is just like you. That is the uniqueness. हैदर अलाहाबादी का ये शेर, हर गली से हर एक जवान निकले, गर तेरी आंख मेहरबान निकले. Approximate translation is, from every street, every youth would come out, if your glance was to be gracious and benevolent enough. That is the power. One gracious, benevolent glance from you, and from every street, every youth would come out. इब्ने इंशा का ये शेर, इस शहर में किससे मिलें हमसे तो छूटी महफिलें, हर शख्स तेरा नाम ले, हर शख्स दीवाना तेरा. Beautiful couplet, beautiful ghazal. So the approximate translation is, who is left in this town that I can go and meet? I have actually stopped going into gatherings, beloved, and I'll tell you why. Because हर शख्स तेरा नाम ले, everybody talks about you. हर शख्स दीवाना तेरा, everybody is enamored by you. It becomes very difficult for me to interact with anyone these days, right? Because everybody is talking about you, everybody seems to be enamored by you, and these conversations are very tough for me because I am enamored by you, I am in love with you, and it's not easy to hear other people talk about you that way. So that is the public appeal of the beloved on people. This profound effect of the beloved, but is not reserved for people only. This is an aura that touches everything that comes in her circle of influence. Even God's own creation, inanimate objects, are unable to resist falling under the beloved spell. इस पे मिर्ज़ा गालिब का शेर, बुए गुल ना लाए दिल, दूधे चरागे महफिल, जो तेरी बज़्म से निकला सो परेशान निकला. So the approximate translation is, the fragrance of the flower, the lament of the heart, the smoke that comes out from the flame of the burning candle, everything that exited your gathering, beloved, exited it feeling restless, feeling anxious. These are all inanimate objects, but Ghalib says, forget about me leaving your gathering feeling anxious and sorrowful. Even these things, beloved, have an anxiety to them. And of course, when we get into the impression, it will be a pleasure. But just imagine the fragrance, right? So it has a mind of its own, it has this flow of its own, right? Then the lament of the heart, again, it has a mind of its own, it tracks its own trajectory. And then charage mehfil, the smoke from the candle, again wanton, going anywhere and everywhere. Ghalib says, whoever leaves your gathering, beloved, goes helter-skelter. They know no rest. इब्न इंशा का ये शेर, कूचे को तेरे छोड़कर जोगी ही बन जाए मगर, जंगल तेरे, पर्वत तेरे, बस्ती तेरी, सहरा तेरा. Again, a beautiful one, right? The approximate translation is, beloved, if I could, I would leave your street and go far away and become a dervish. But, beloved, the forests belong to you, the mountains belong to you, the deserts belong to you, the towns belong to you. That is your mass appeal. That is your mass influence. Where do I go? There is no escaping you, beloved. There is no escaping you. And then this last one, Varun Anand ka. चांद सितारे फूल परिंदे शाम सवेरा एक तरफ, सारी दुनिया उसका चरबा उसका चेहरा एक तरफ. The approximate translation is, the moon, the stars, the flowers, the birds, the evening, the morning, everything on one side. The entire world is just an imitation, just a reflection of her. All this on one side and her face on one side. Now, moving on to the last aspect that we want to explore in today's episode, the unforgettable aspect of the beloved. This is not a phenomena you see, you like it, you become in awe of it, you get impressed, but once you are away from it, it's over. No. This phenomena stays with you. This phenomena, once it happens to you, will stay with you forever. Beloved is a phenomena which once seen, once felt, cannot be forgotten. Once you experience it, you do not ever want to stop experiencing it. अली मसरूर का ये शेर, उठ के उस बज़्म से आ जाना कुछ आसान ना था, एक दीवार से निकला हूँ, जो दर से निकला. Beautiful couplet. Just read it for the first time while preparing our impression and just floored me. The approximate translation is, getting up from her gathering was not an easy task. Getting up from her gathering and leaving her gathering was not an easy task. I almost felt as if I was walking through a wall when I was walking out the door. That was the difficulty. I almost felt I had to walk through a wall, solid wall, while I was walking out of a door. हैदर हुसैन फिजा लखनवी का ये शेर. होश बाकी ना रहा, हाथ से ईमान गया, जो गया बज़्म से तेरी वो परेशान गया. The approximate translation is, there is no consciousness, no awareness and alertness left, there is no faith left. Everybody who is leaving your gathering, beloved, is going out feeling so anxious, so restless. All the things that used to be a reason of comfort and stability are all gone. Faith is gone, consciousness, awareness, intelligence is gone. Everybody is living in a very anxious, perplexed state. Now, all this, when you club together, kind of start explaining that fact as to why the lover almost starts worshipping the beloved, why the lover almost starts accepting the fact that there is something very surreal about her. This is no ordinary person. This is no ordinary impact. This is no ordinary beauty. It becomes increasingly difficult for the lover to treat the beloved as just another pretty face, right? It becomes increasingly difficult. Once he starts seeing this influence, this impact, these feelings she is evoking, not only in him, but anybody and everybody who kind of comes in her circle of influence. There will come a time. There will come a time when the lover will put beloved at par with God. Something very unique in Urdu poetry, right? मीर तकी मीर का ये शेर, परिस्तिश की यहाँ तक कि ए बुत तुझे नज़र में सबों की खुदा कर चले. The approximate translation is, the level of worship, the level of adoration that I had for you, O idol, I have converted you in the eyes of everybody into God Himself. That has been the transformative effect of my worship, my adoration for you. That you who were just an idol has been converted into God. अकबर अलाहाबादी का ये शेर, इश्क के बुत में कुफ्र का मुझको अदब करना पड़ा, जो ब्राह्मण ने कहा आखिर वो सब करना पड़ा. Beautiful couplet. The approximate translation is that in my love for the idol, I had to become an infidel and do everything that an infidel does. And hence Brahman, and though whatever the Brahman preached, I actually did every single step of that while I was worshipping this idol of my beloved, or this beloved who is like an idol to me. And last one, Mirza Ghalib का शेर, छोड़ूंगा मैं ना उस बुते काफिर का पूजना, छोड़े ना खलक गो मुझे काफिर कहे बगैर. So the approximate translation is, I will not stop doing idol worship of my beloved. And yes, I know that the world will never stop in response calling me an infidel. Now, though we grabbed at the opportunity this couplet gave us to explore these aspects, in our couplet today, Ghalib focuses on one specific aspect of the beloved. And that is the power of beloved's favors and graces, the power of her approval, her agreement, her involvement, her consent, right, to anything. Ghalib details the trusted, privileged, special, one of its kind seat the beloved has in the hearts of everyone. The power in the phrase sab ke dil mein. That's how Ghalib starts the couplet. Sab ke dil mein. This power is irrefutable. It is omnipotent. Right? Not one or two, everyone. Sabke. And not anything like in their mind, on their mind, in their thoughts. No. In their heart. The deepest, most coveted seat you can give to anyone is a seat in your heart. And Ghalib says, Sabke dil mein. She occupies that coveted seat in everybody's heart. Imagine that. Imagine that Ghalib says, beloved, you reside in everyone's heart, by extension in everyone's soul. क्या बात है, right? कितनी बड़ी बात है. What celebration, what glorious description of the beloved's impact. Ghalib captures the beloved's ability to impact hearts, to transform hearts, to awaken hearts. In fact, this is the one unique thing that the beloved does for the lover. Introduce him to love. इस पे वो कबीर का दोहा याद आ रहा है, गुरु गोविंद दऊ खड़े काके लागो पाए, बलिहारी गुरु आपकी गोविंद दियो मिलाए. So the approximate translation is, right now I am facing both God himself and my teacher, my guru. And I am deciding who do I bow down to first to show my respect. And this is the decision I've made. I am going to bow down to the teacher first. Because had it not been for this teacher, I would not even know about God. Everything I know, all my knowledge, all my wisdom is because of the teacher. So I am going to bow down to the teacher first and then bow down to God. God exists for me. God is known to me in all his entirety thanks to this teacher. Thanks to this teacher. And for the lover, beloved is his guru, who introduces him to the divine emotion of love. Though the theory of love is known to everyone, the real experience of love requires a trigger. It requires a catalyst. It requires someone to sow that precious seed in your heart. The beloved plays that role, fulfills that responsibility with reference to the lover. Once introduced to this divine emotion, the lover is in fact introduced to divinity itself. Irrespective whether this love will be requited or unrequited, the lover has been initiated on the divine journey of discovering and accepting the phenomena God is love, love is God. Therefore, it is no surprise that as this emotion grows stronger, so does the likeliness of the beloved to God himself in lover's eyes. आलमा इकबाल का ये शेर, शुक्र शिकवे को किया हुस्न अदा से तूने, हम सुखन कर दिया बंदों को खुदा से तूने. So the approximate translation is, beloved, by the graces of your beauty, by the unique style of your beauty, you have taken care of many a complaints. What you have done is you have made us one-on-one with God himself. That is your impact on us, right? That you have made us one-on-one with God himself by introducing us to the divine emotion of love. अजीज हैदराबादी का बहुत प्यारा शेर, हुस्न है दादे खुदा, इश्क है इमदाद खुदा, गैर का दखल नहीं, वक्त है अपना अपना. The approximate translation is, beauty is the praise of God. Love is God's help itself. There is no access, there is no intrusion of anyone in this. Everybody has got their own fortune. सूफी गुलाम मुस्तफ़ा तबस्सुम का ये शेर, वो मेरा आसरा है, हाँ वो मेरा खुदा है. द अप्रॉक्सीमेट ट्रांसलेशन इज, शी इज़ माई सपोर्ट, येस शी इज़ माई गॉड. सो दैट टेक्स केयर ऑफ द फर्स्ट लाइन, सबके दिल में है जगह तेरी, जो तू राज़ी हुआ. जो तू राज़ी हुआ is actually connected to the second line. We will cover it in the second line. But सबके दिल में है जगह तेरी, that itself is a complete statement. वो अपने आप में एक मुकम्मल aspect है इस शेर का. सबके दिल में है जगह तेरी. And we have gone in detail why, right? Why? Moving on to the second line. मुझ पे गोया एक ज़माना मेहरबान हो जाएगा. Ghalib as a lover is no stranger to beloved's divine powers to influence and inhabit the hearts, sow the seeds of love in them. Ghalib also is well aware of the mass appeal and influence the beloved has on one and all. Confident in this knowledge, Ghalib makes an appeal to the beloved in this couplet. Ghalib says, beloved, if you, just you, and you alone, if you were to become favorable towards me, if you were to become benevolent towards me, gracious towards me, then automatically make the entire population, entire public, entire generation at that point in time also extend their positive acknowledgement and acceptance of the lover's existence. अगर तुम मेरे पे मेहरबान हो गई, अगर तुम मुझसे राज़ी हो गई, तो पूरे का पूरा ज़माना will follow in your footsteps. If you do it, everybody else will do it. So I implore you, beloved, agree with me. Come to a positive conclusion with me, irrespective what is under discussion. Right now we are just saying the entire existence of the lover, right? Agree to my existence, be positive to my existence, accept my existence, because I know if you do it, the whole generation will do it. उबैद उल्ला अलीम का ये बहुत प्यारा शेर, वो साथ था तो खुदा भी था मेहरबान क्या क्या, बिछड़ गया तो हुई हैं अदावतें कैसी. Just that exact emotion, right? The approximate translation is, when she was by my side, God was merciful to me in so many ways. क्या क्या, right? मेहरबान क्या क्या. I received multiple blessings of many types, but ever since she has deserted me, हुई हैं अदावतें कैसी. Now I am getting all kinds of trials and tribulations. When she was there, blessings were raining on me. With her leaving my side, all I am getting is trials and tribulations. In DGMZ's humble opinion, this couplet is a prayer. It is a prayer, and we'll tell you why. Just like we pray to God, and we pray only to God, to send down His mercy and grace on us, we know fully well that if God sends down His grace and mercy on us, automatically everything, everyone will also become merciful and gracious to us. We don't go around praying to our problem in tax, or our problem in money, or our problem in career. We don't offer praise to these things, right? To our job, to our career, to our family. No, we pray straight to God, because we know once He hears our prayer for grace and mercy, once He answers our prayer for grace and mercy, all these things will get impacted and influenced accordingly. They will all fall in his footsteps. तो बिल्कुल ऐसा लगता है Ghalib, the lover, is imploring and praying to the beloved to adopt a stance of grace and mercy towards the lover, which will automatically make everything and everyone also become gracious and generous towards the lover. सॉरी. अहमद फराज का ये शेर, तेरे होते हुए आ जाती थी सारी दुनिया, आज तन्हा हूं तो कोई नहीं आने वाला. Same sentiment. When you were beside me, everybody used to come. The entire world used to flock around me. Now that I am lonely, by extension, you are not beside me. Nobody is going to come. Nobody comes. You drew them to me, right? You drew them to me. The couplet is a testament to not just the love, but the faith the lover puts in the beloved. Beloved is indeed the lover's prayer to any and every wish he has, any and every trouble he has. She is the miracle that can set everything right for him, make everything gracious and merciful and blessed in the lover's world. That is his genuine faith. That is the beloved's influence on the lover. हफीज लुधियानवी का ये शेर, डूबे ना कभी मेरा मुकद्दर का सितारा, एक बार जो कर ले मुझे महबूबे खुदा याद. एक बार. Right? Approximate translation, the star of my destiny would never decline if even once that beloved come God of mine was to remember me, was to think of me, was to send her attention towards me. Never, never would the star of my destiny decline. That is the faith. And that is the last line, right? That is the last line where Ghalib says that, beloved, if you become razi, if you become aligned with me, if you come into agreement with me, my existence, my needs, my desires, whatever I encapsulate inside me, if you agree to it, beloved, I know everybody else will do. Everybody else will do that too. So please, please agree with me. Send your gracious, benevolent agreement on me so that I can get it from everybody else. Now, we will end this episode with one last piece of poetry that captures how a beloved executes her role and responsibility in love, making it look easy, effortless, ethereal, beautiful. But fact of the matter is that the beloved's role is no easier than the role of the lover. So this is a piece of a qawwali from the movie Nikah. This is how it goes. परवाने से पहले जली और परवाने के बाद जली, वो तो जला बस पल दो पल को, शमा तो सारी रात जली. एक परवाना जला किस कदर शोर मचा, शमा चुपचाप जली लब पे शिकवा न गिला. क्या है जलने का मजा, हुस्न से पूछो जरा, क्योंकि परवाने को जल जाना हमने ही सिखाया है, वो तब ही जला हमने जब खुद को जलाया है. आशिक की जान इश्क में जाने से पेशतर, खुद हुस्न डूबता है वफा के चनाब में. And of course the last line, खुद हुस्न डूबता है वफा के चनाब में, refers to this famous Soni Mahiwal story, where Soni, the beloved, plunges into a raging river Chenab, name of the river, to swim across to meet the lover. And following her, the lover gets into the river too to meet her halfway, and both of them drown and get immortalized like lovers, as lovers. So, um, contrary to probably the archetypal image of the beloved, it is not as if the beloved is not bearing the brunt of love, right? It is not as if the lover all by himself is bearing the entire brunt. The beloved does too, but she has a different style of doing it, a very quiet, calm, beautiful, ethereal style, but they both bear the brunt. And like we always say at DGMZ, you don't have to be a she to be a beloved, you don't have to be a he to be a lover. It's just what side of the equation you land on when you are in this relationship with someone, right? Are you on the lover's side or on the beloved side? Gender really does not matter. So that brings us to the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, we will be keen to hear comments and feedback from you on the episode. Now, for the new viewers, as always, a strong recommendation to access the episode Introduction to DGMZ, so that you get a good insight into the motivation and inspiration behind this podcast. The homepage of the channel has multiple playlists. Whenever you have time, surf through them, pick episodes that interest you. A gentle reminder, we have started DGMZ Bites. They are available in the Shorts tab. There is a dedicated playlist also for them. And we have a Facebook page. If you can, please join us there. We would love to have you there too. Now, I'm going to end this episode, as always, by sending a lot of love and light to all you dear viewers, and thanks for watching.